know what accent I was trying to make, guys. Imagine that's the accent that I speak in. Until today, people still don't know what my accent is. Some people think it's Scottish, some people think it's Canadian. I'm from Northern Ireland, so I have a Northern Ireland accent, but when I'm here, people don't think I'm from here. I've got time to film today because Isaac and Ayla are shipped off at their grandparents'. See ya! Whether you guys choose between two videos, one, how I stay young. I say stay young because, you know, technically we're still getting older every single day, but just sharing my tips and tricks and the products and the things that I do to keep my skin looking young. Or if you guys wanted me to make a video on my beauty confessions. Basically beauty no-nos that I'm guilty of doing. As you can tell from the title above, you guys chose the beauty confessions. Before I start, guys, do you guys remember? Because I figured this would be a fantastic opportunity because sometimes when you're watching your favorite beauty influencers out there, maybe you just sort of assume that they'll have perfect beauty routines and everything they do is just perfect. But nobody is perfect. Sometimes I do things that I'm not supposed to. Sometimes I give bad advice, which I have done. But did you die? I have got plenty of beauty confessions. Some of them I feel okay, and then some of them I'm just really kind of ashamed to like put out there. Let it out like a fart. Without further ado, let's get rolling. First piece of beauty advice that I've given that wasn't very good, that I also used to do all the time, is sleeping with your hair wet. Sleeping with damp hair. Now back then, even till today, there is still a lot of craze about styling your hair without heat. You guys may remember in some of my videos where I would roll my hair into like a really tight bun and just sleep on it. And here's the thing, guys, your hair is actually the weakest when it's wet. And it's kind of like, you know how people say that when your hair is wet, you should never brush it. So basically when your hair is wet, it is very stretchy and it just breaks easily. So when you sleep with hair that's not dry, then obviously the chances of your hair breaking is so much higher. If possible, definitely do not sleep with wet hair. I'm just gonna like let this one out for the second one. I'm just gonna release it, and it's that I'm really bad with SPF. I feel terrible because I preach it all the time, but I'm a hypocrite. I mean, like anti-aging 101 class, the very first rule in general is to protect your face from the sun. And hence SPF. I hated the feeling of wearing sunscreen. I hate the smell. The thing is, I've spoken to a few of my girlfriends about this and I was shook because surprisingly it was the same for them. Basically the rule was sometimes some sunscreens can break you out. I feel like my skin is actually not bad, but I feel like if I was more diligent about wearing my sunscreen, then I wouldn't have as much sunspots. So I spend more money getting specialized serums and getting these devices and supplements, and they do work, and I will make a video about that for you guys one day. What I do now is I have to work harder trying to reverse the effects, whereas it would have been much easier to prevent than to cure. For now, I'm pretty happy using my sunscreen spray. I like it because it feels light, it doesn't feel sticky, it gives me the protection, and most importantly, I feel like it doesn't clog my pores. As long as you find a sunscreen that's oil-free and non-comedogenic. You know what I'm saying. Third beauty confession is just really a basic one that we all do. I used to preach this all the time. Sleep on your back, because when you're sleeping on your back, you give your face a nice facelift. It's like a natural facelift, right? When you sleep on your face, you're basically pressing and squishing your face for a large significant amount of time, and you'll find out the older that you get, your skin just doesn't have that, you know, that punch. So when you have a mark or a crease from sleeping, it would last a lot longer. So I try to sleep on my back as much as possible, and I notice it helps when I sort of stack up my pillows a little bit more. Basically, the flatter that I'm laying, the more chance I'll turn to my side, because there's something about sleeping in the side and on my belly that makes me feel really safe. Who doesn't like to just curl up like a fetus? Another thing that you can do is to invest in silk pillows, because silk is so much more softer, it's a lot more gentle, not just for your skin but also for your hair as well. In the comments, I would love to know what type of sleeper you are. Are you a back sleeper? Are you a belly sleeper? Do you like to sleep on your side? Beauty confession number 4. I don't wear rubber gloves. I used to have the softest hands, just really soft, and my friends would ask, why are they so soft? Now I know they were soft because I didn't do dishes. So obviously now things are different. I have a family to take care of, so I wash up a lot. It's a really bad habit. I know I should wear rubber gloves, but I just feel like the gloves sort of slow me down. Rarely use hand cream as well, because if I put hand cream on, like literally in like 10-15 minutes, I'm gonna be washing my hands again. So yes, I bring it all on myself, and I only use hand cream if my hands get to a state where they're like bleeding and cracked. So yes, that is not good, and especially because I like to use really hot water as well, which can be super, excuse me, gosh, it's a burger. Hot water can also be really drying on the skin. I'm trying to use rubber gloves. I need to find the right gloves where it feels like my own hand. Beauty confession number 5. My legs are not nearly as soft or smooth as I would like them to be. Like, I love admiring people's, that's so creepy. I love admiring people's legs when, it's all glowy and tan. But the reality is my leg is always sort of chalky. I'm not that good with applying body lotion. I've told you guys many times, if I'm good, I'm really good, and then if I'm bad, like that's it. I think it's also because I don't like my body feeling like sticky. I like it feeling dry, if that makes sense. I'm used to applying creams to my face. Maybe I just need to get used to applying creams on my legs as well, but my legs can get really dry. Which brings me to the next confession, is that I shower / bath in temperature that is way too hot. I just love myself a vitality pool experience. So I know I've always bathed in hot water, but I didn't realize how hot it is. It's so bad, especially if you've got dry skin, but it cleanses my soul. So one thing that I have done to combat the dryness is, if I'm taking a bath, I would actually add bath oil. It just means when you come out of the bath, the residue from the oil actually stays on. So I've realized ever since using bath oil, my skin is still really soft when coming out. Next beauty confession, my neck. I'm really bad at applying products on my neck. And I know your neck and your eyes are the first places that shows signs of aging, but for a long part of my life, of my adult life, I just neglected my neck. And it's probably why I've got these lines, because my mom has always told me, Lindy, your lines are really obvious. So even till now, I'm kind of like, what? Because it's just my neck. But yeah, especially people in our generation, we're even more prone to neck wrinkles because we're the generation where we're constantly looking down on our phones. So number 1, that increases your chance of getting neck wrinkles. And number 2, it also increases your chance of getting a double chin. So now I have to be very mindful when I apply my products to bring it down my neck, and also at the same time, for the sake of my posture also, not to always have my face looking down. Next beauty confession. I don't shave my legs. So my legs, they're not hairy, but they're not quite fully smooth. Think of a cactus. I like to think my legs have character. It's for the most part, I don't really have that much hair. Most of my hair is all on my head. But if you're talking about arms and legs, I really don't have that much, because you shave the hair blunt, when it grows back, it appears thicker. So for this reason, I don't really shave my legs. Sometimes I like to rub my prickly legs on Tim to tickle him, and that's just how I show him I love him. I know it's so bad and I try to stop, but sometimes it's so hard. When you get your nails done, I have this habit when my nails are chipping and they're looking bad. Instead of removing my nail polish or my gel polish the proper way, soaking them, I have this habit of just ripping them right off. And in the moment, 1, it's quicker, and number 2, it can get really fun and addictive because you try to like rip it all in one piece, but it's really bad because what you're doing is, as you rip off the polish, you're actually ripping off layers of your nails as well. The next beauty confession, I'm sure all of you guys can relate, and it's basically that you don't always chuck your makeup. So basically when you buy a makeup product, if you look at the base, it should usually tell you how long you can use it for from opening, especially when I was younger and I wanted to have this collection. I pretty much kept expired makeup just because. So even till today, I still have some makeup products that are most likely expired that I still keep and sometimes use. I mean, like, I'm not trying to excuse and say this is what you should do. I'm just saying, like, I'm not perfect. So usually this would be the powder products. Especially now that I'm older, it makes me very mindful about the products that I buy. I used to buy all this stuff and it just sits there. So now I really try to finish a foundation before I buy another one, or even before I open. I'm very mindful of the type of makeup products that I buy because, you know, I don't want to waste it at the same time. Okay, so another beauty confession. I don't always use the spatulas that's given in moisturizer creams or masks. Maybe for the first few times, like, I'm good, and then after a while I get lazy and it takes far too long to disinfect my spatula. Yeah, my moisturizer that I'm currently using, I just contaminated, but with my germs. Last but not least, my armpits. For quite a while, I've kind of struggled with dark armpits. And the reason is because, like I said, I'm very lazy when it comes to, like, my body. So when I wasn't exfoliating enough, what would happen is my pores would easily get clogged in my armpits and I would always struggle with ingrown hairs. Now, thankfully, my armpits are no longer dark. So if there's anyone out there and you struggle with darker pits or ingrown hairs in your armpits, then try exfoliating and see if that works for you. Alright guys, those are my beauty confessions. I mean, with that being said, you know, there's a lot in my beauty regimen that I'm very diligent and hardworking with. For example, I clean my makeup brushes every time before I use it. But it's just one of those things where, you know, we have strengths in one place and weaknesses in others. But did I die? Working on it! I would love to hear your beauty confessions. Let me know what you do that you're not supposed to do, that you still do, that you sometimes do, or maybe always do. Hope you guys have a day as amazing as you are, and I shall talk to you soon. Bye!